Hey YouTube world, this is DJ Think coming from my mom's kitchen, live and direct. This is my mom's quaint little kitchen, in a small New York City apartment. I wanted to share with you this application that I have on my Cintiq Companion 2. I know it's an older machine. Anyway, this application is called SDV Canvas. It's a smaller version of SD Visualizer, which that's why it's called SDV Canvas, Sequencer Drum Pad Visualizer Canvas. This is a simple drawing application which allows you to draw on the screen, and then you can play back the animation, and I'm going to show you how that works. It plays back the animation in sync to whatever music you have, or if you don't have any music, it'll just play it back. You can change various parameters. Let me get into that for you right quick. So on this canvas screen here, you have some colors which you can choose for the brush. On the right here, you have a brush tool, which, let me change the size of that. Bring it down some, bring down the eraser some, do it like that. So if you draw with this tool, you see it draws, but it doesn't quite connect. The lines don't connect, and that's because the timer event is firing at a very fast rate, and the processor is only able to pick up mouse events every so often, so it doesn't connect quite. So instead of that, you have the line 2 tool, and that draws a smooth line. You also have the eraser tool, which can erase. That doesn't work. That's very strange. Okay. Okay, so that's a glitch in my application. Before the eraser tool was working, but if you do the erase line 2 tool, it'll erase the line 2 events. That's so strange that the eraser tool doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Probably because of the blend modes that I have. And I was experimenting with blend modes when I was coding the brushing, the eraser, and the line tool, so I probably left some stuff in there that wasn't supposed to be there. In the initial version of the application, the eraser was working correctly. You also have a canvas alpha and a background, so you can change the background. Canvas alpha is supposed to make the background transparent. So some experimenting that I'm doing with that, and I haven't quite figured out the best way to code it. It's a little tricky working with alpha channels when it comes to a painting program. All the tutorials that I've ever seen online don't have any account for that, for alpha channels. But basically, the way it works is you have some code that accounts for the ARGB values, and that's how you can draw with an alpha channel. You can erase to the background color or to the alpha channel. Well, I'm just rambling on, but I just wanted to show you real quick how this draw on or write on event works. I already recorded some animation. If you record this animation by pressing this button with the red circle with the red triangle, that starts to record whatever painting you're painting on the canvas, and it only records as you actually draw. So once you lift your mouse up, it doesn't record any events, or your stylus. And then you press stop and it'll stop recording. So I actually had a bug in here which was firing to an array, and the array was causing the application to crash if I recorded like 20,000 frames. It didn't crash during the recording, but it crashed during the playback. And I figured comment that out and remove the array call, and I haven't been able to reproduce a crash, so it seems to work just fine. This is how it plays. Let me change this to 1. Here's my keyboard. 1. Oh. This is how it plays without music. So it takes a second to load because I have about 20,000 frames in here. You see it says not responding now, but it'll respond in a second. And actually I have to, yeah. So this is some graffiti I did for a friend of mine. I'm working on a project for her, so that's what it says there. It's her name. Let me kill that. Let me clear the screen. Hopefully it'll clear. Yes, it does clear. I can bring up an MP3, or let me bring up the sequencer. Actually, let me load some sequencer presets. So what you saw here was you can load kick, drum, snare, and hi-hat into each one of these 16 cells up there. That's a step sequencer type of thing. But you can also load a preset, and that populates all of those cells with whatever preset I coded in hard coded into the application. You can't really save your own presets right now, but what you can do is load the preset and then play back the animation. Let's see if that works. Is it gonna work? I may have to. Okay. That's very funny. It's playing back the sequence very rapidly because I changed this to 10. If I change that back to 1 and change this to 30, and accept those values and play it back, now it should play back normally, and the frames will play back staccato according to the sounds. So let's see, I'm not getting any sounds now. I wonder why that is. Oh, okay. There it is. So what you see happening is it's playing back staccato according to these values up here. It's playing in rhythm. It does the same thing with MP3s. It sort of plays it according to the peak level of the volume of the MP3. But what you can also do is you can load the turntable, and it's covering now, but if you scale this down, you can let me see, can I clear? I think I can clear the presets. Yeah, clear the presets and play it back just so that it registers motion, and then you can play the turntable. So So that's how that works. I was gonna leave it so that you could actually, what I was gonna do is implement a turntable which was invisible, and you could just move your finger over the screen in a round fashion, like a turntable scratch, similar to what you're doing here, except it would be invisible and it would just register your thumb. You would have a preview of which cell was active, and then when you hold your mouse down or hold your finger down on it, it would disappear, and you would just remember that position, and you could scratch the way you scratch here. And you see, it doesn't, without the playback, it doesn't actually do anything to change the animation. But I think it's a pretty cool thing. What I was going to do is have the invisible turntable so that you could view the animation in full screen mode, or as large as the canvas gets. But I decided to just leave it so that you could scale it down and still be able to access the turntable. So this SDV Canvas is designed for graffiti, simple graffiti. You could play with these colors. There is a color picker. If you select colors in here, it'll change values in this area, and the cumulative values of the R, G, and B will be reflected here in this cell, and that's whatever you will be able to paint with. Once you activate this, it kills the colors on the right, and there's no way to get it back because I haven't coded that back into my application yet. So I have to code some kind of override for these colors here on the right for the simple colors. Yeah, but that's it. This is SDV Canvas, and it's an Adobe Air application, so it works on my Android smartphone also. Yeah, so that's the smartphone. I have the application loaded on there too. But I do plan on taking the original SD Visualizer application and simplifying it somewhat so that it will hopefully be able to run on Android. The application is so heavy that let me show it to you real quick. I have another demo demo on YouTube which goes through all of these. But you see, you have the sequencer, drum pad, visualizer with all these visualizations on the right. The canvas, which there is a canvas in the visualizer also, it's the same canvas. But when you go to canvas, you can pixelate here. It has an MP3 player, a drum pad X. So all these features here, it's mostly designed for a desktop, to be real. But I wanted to try and code it so that it would run on an Android APK also. It's an Adobe Air application, so it codes down to Windows, Mac, and Android, and also iOS. But I don't code for iOS because you have to take some special considerations into account when you're coding for iOS from Adobe Animate or the older Flash application in CS6. And I just don't have any fun doing that, so I don't think it's worthwhile trying to code for iOS. Not only that, but they just introduced the Apple Pencil within the past few years, and I've always been more of one to purchase a Samsung Galaxy Note with the stylus and use the stylus from the Galaxy Note, since it embeds itself into the body of the phone, and I think that's really cool. You don't lose your stylus, you don't misplace it. I wish the Cintiq was like that. It has this thing here. You can put your stylus into this thing, into this case. But yeah, that's the application right now. If you have any questions or want to see anything added to this application, or think that I could change some things, make it a little bit better, improve it somehow, let me know. Leave a comment in the comments below. And until next time, this is DJ Think coming to you live from Brooklyn, New York, in my mom's kitchen. Peace.